Hello guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the final film in our Arrow Video VHS rental week. And tonight we're looking at Arena. This is the only film in the Enter the Video Store box set that I've actually seen before. It's been 30 odd years since I've seen it, so it's good to sort of revisit it. This is a science fiction film, sort of based in, I don't know if it's on a planet or on a space station, and there's like an event that happens on this sort of like community called the Arena, which is like a battle arena where you get aliens and stuff fighting each other and stuff like that. And we got, as a human guy, lives on the planet, and he works at like this restaurant sort of thing as a chef. Not very good, but he works as a chef. But he works there, and he watches a lot of this sort of arena fighting and stuff like that. And he's actually a good fighter himself, which they don't know anything about yet. Then the manager and his friend of the restaurant has an issue with some of the customers there, and they start threatening him. Now, I like his friend because he's got like he's got four hands, four arms. So it's quite funny, and there's so many different wonderful sort of alien creatures in this sort of film. Very sort of like, if you can picture like the bar in Star Wars, or the mixture sort of, it's like that. It's got loads of different sort of alien creatures in it. Anyway, he starts getting this hassle from this guy in this bar, and our human hero, whose name I can't remember, starts to defend him and goes over and starts fighting this alien guy. And then he sort of like has this big fight in the restaurant and stuff like this, and he kicks him through the window. And all this sort of stuff goes on, and he ends up getting fired from his job, obviously, because he's fighting. So he's fired, and then he tries to go back to where he lives, but he's not allowed there because he's been fired from work, and so he hasn't got the money to pay rent or nothing. So he goes and stays with his friend. In this sort of like little hovel. So they're sort of staying together, and then they draw the attention of these like villains. The main sort of villain of the film, and he's sort of like his protege, and they're into this arena thing, this villain, and they cheat a lot of the time. We see one fight, his little weaselly rat-looking friend gives an injection to one of the aliens, which helps him win the fight. So they cheat and stuff like that. Anyway, there's a bit of a problem between our hero and this villain, and he sort of tracks him down and chases him down, and our little weasel friend holds them at gunpoint and takes them to their boss. Now, apparently they owe him money, 18,000, whatever their credits are there, 18,000 credits. And all he's got is he's got an air flight back to Earth, because the human being guy wants to go back to Earth. So all the money they got has gone onto this flight. So he throws the ticket down in front of him, and the guy says, well, that's not enough. And it's non-refundable, and it's only worth about 13,000 credits. So he says, right, I'll get your money. And then he goes and speaks to this woman who we've met earlier in the film, who runs like a team of sort of like fighters for the arena. Now, he's already said no to it. He doesn't want to be a fighter or anything like that. Because I think it's been years and years and years since they've had like a human sort of fighter. Oh, got a little boy here. It's been years and years and years since they've had a human sort of fighter. And so here he comes. Here he is. Hello, everybody. Here's little Sullivan. Yeah, so it's been a long time since a human fighter, and he doesn't want to do it But now he's in a position where he hasn't got a choice, because this villain is threatening to kill them both if he doesn't get the money. So he goes to the woman and he joins her, and she gives him 18,000 credits, which he takes back to the villain and pays him off. And he releases him and his friend from the sort of like whatever it is that they owe him. And then we see our hero at the arena on his first fight, and he's got to fight this really huge sort of alien who's got these massive sort of back legs. It's really strange looking thing. So he's got to fight him in the arena. And the villain sees him there and says, oh, so this is how he gets his money. He's a fighter. So the fight sort of kicks off, and our hero gets the worst of it at the beginning, and sort of loses the first round 1-0, but then comes back with us in the second round, and sort of like, and it's 1-1, and then there's the big sort of payoff round, and it looks like our hero's been killed by this alien, but he manages to struggle free, zooms underneath him and whacks him and kicks him, and he wins the final round. So he wins the fight. And then he's approached again by our villain, who wants him to come and work with him and his team of like alien fighters. And it's all sort of like filmed on like a TV show at the same time. And the reporter saying, oh, it's the first time in his career that he's seen a human being that's actually got this far and won a fight. So they're all sort of like looking at him as being the next champ. But he has declined the offer from the villain to join his team, because he says he's already joined the team of that woman's team, and he doesn't want to go back on his thing. And that's all I'm going to tell you. So is he going to do that and become the arena champion? Is he going to continue to fight there? Or is he going to get back to Earth as he's planned to do? You need to watch it and find out. What do I think of Arena? Yep, it's exactly as I remember it. It's a really, really cool film, and I actually preferred it now than I did back in the day. When I first saw it, I thought, it's okay, nothing special. It was different because I was so heavily into horror, and all I ever wanted to watch was horror, 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 and I really sort of closed blinkered about anything else. But now, obviously, as I'm older, I've got a wider taste of films, you know, so I'm more open to different genres. And this is fantastic, absolute fantastic, an absolute gem in the box set. This is the gem of the box set. So far we've had Dungeon Master, which has been the stupid film of the box set. Then we've had the two horrors, which have been the awesome films in the box set. Now this one is the gem of the box set. The pluses of this film, the transfer looks really nice. It's so 80s, it's unreal, with all the effects and the aliens and everything. It looks so 80s, it's amazing. The cast are really good. Don't really know anyone in the cast, but they're all really cool and they play a good part. They play it really cheesily, and I think that's how the film's meant to be, like a really cheesy film. The aliens look stupid and rubbery, which is amazing, which I love. The fight sequences are probably the only negative in the film, to be honest, because they're so close up. You don't get to see too much of the fighting sort of thing. Only really close up where he's like, boom, boom, not this close. It's like, no, come on, you know, you want to see a bit of it from a distance so you can actually see it actually happening. But there we go. But they're still cool. I'm going to score the film an excellent watch and give it an 8 out of 10. Really cool film. Really great to see it again after all these years, and I had a great time watching it. I'm so glad that they've actually put it in a box set. Really, really cool. Arena, 8 out of 10. Any of you guys seen it? If you have, let me know down below what you think of it. Like I said, I saw this years ago, and I bought it because I like the original cover. Now, the original cover was this. So, being quite young, I thought it was going to be a horror film because of the creature's face. but obviously it wasn't. It's a science fiction sort of like battle film, you know, a bit like Gladiators, you know, and it was kind of like, okay, well that's different. It's like the Karate Kid of sci-fi. And it was sort of like, okay, well that's not horror, but yeah, but it was good fun though. I quite enjoyed it back in the day, and the main character girl when I was young, thought, oh, she's cute, so I liked looking at her too. And so it was good to revisit it and have a good time watching the film. Really, really cool. And that ends my VHS rental week, which I hope you've enjoyed. It's been good to visit over this box set. Now, there's one more film in that box set called Robot Jox, which I will review, but it will be done separately from this week. But there we go. Amazing week. I've enjoyed all of them. Dolls has been absolutely amazing. Cellar Dweller was absolutely amazing, and I've got to say, I think Cellar Dweller is probably my favourite film in this box set so far. And I've really enjoyed revisiting the arena. And Dungeon Master, which I watched before this week, it was fun, just stupid, and really sort of rubbish, but that's what makes it good. And I've given them all good scores. Dungeon Masters had 7 out of 10. Dolls had 9 out of 10. Cellar Dwellers had 9 out of 10. And this one's had 8 out of 10. So it all lays now on Robot Jox. Until my next videos, guys, please check out some horror channels for me. Horror Hands, Horror Geek, Man v Film, RS Designs, Pizzawell, I am the Ice Lord, Sarah of Horror, Cat Watches Horror Movies, Grumpy Andrew's Haunted House, and a massive shout out to the lad. Till next time, look after yourselves, look after one another, and I really hope I'll see you all soon.